Gurudeva Tava Mahaniya Krupa Gurudeva Tava Mahaniya Krupa.
Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavidvaram. My salutations to Dattaji and to everyone present here. Pranam. In our mission pledge, you just heard Gurudev in his own voice. The line says, service to the country is the service to the Lord of Lords, and devotion to the people is the devotion to the Supreme Self. Gurudev connected Desha Bhakti to Deva Bhakti. They are not different. That Desha Bhakti and Deva Bhakti are one and the same. The proof of that statement and people who actually live that is Rashtriya Swayam Seva sangh. For every Swayam Sevak, India is first. The nation is first, and they are working like guardian angels. For people who do not understand things in depth, RSS could just be an organization. For those who have sharper intellect, who understand things deeply, RSS is the guardian of Bharat. And the relationship between Golwalkar Guruji and our Gurudev is known to few of you, and for some people it could be new information. It's a beautiful legacy that we continue even now, cherishing the shared vision. So it was very kind of Dattaji to accept. I called him over a phone call and we said, it'll be good if we can have you in October. And very kind of him, he immediately accepted. And he said, whenever I'm traveling to Chennai, this will be done. Dattaji, thank you so much. This meeting for us means a lot because we are going to have reminiscence of two great masters, their vision, so that we cherish it and we continue the togetherness in the coming days too. And personally, what Gurudev used to tell about RSS is white-clothed sannyasis. You don't see them only in this color. They serve with such sincerity and purification. In his eyes, Swayam Sevak is a white-clothed sannyasi. And I have read one article where Gurudev was talking about Rashtriya Swayam Seva sangh. Now, Chinmaya Mission people, we have to understand this clearly, understand it to the right spirit. You know what Gurudev said? What 10 people of Chinmaya Mission workers can do, one Swayam Sevak can do in a shorter time. Please understand, this is what Gurudev said. What we, Chinmaya Mission people, can do, 10 of us, one Swayam Sevak. The ratio is that way. It means their commitment, the spirit, the working speed is such. So this is what Gurudev said, and we also know that. And Dattaji and me, we cherish a very loving relationship. Anytime when we say, and he also says, I'm part of Chinmaya Mission, this is my organization. You should always look at it that way, Dattaji, it's your organization only. Yeah. And I remember we were together in Ayodhya. Bhumi Pujan happened. So I went to that spot where exactly the puja was done, and Dattaji also came there. And imagine it's a 400, 500-year-old dream of seeing something. Someone can come into our country, destroy our temple, threaten us, get away. And it took this long for us to build it. So the Bhumi Pujan is very sentimental. So I went there. I took little sand, soil of Ayodhya, was packing up in a small packet. And I put little on my forehead. Dattaji is standing next to me like a child. For me also, please put. So that's a very cherished movement for both of us, that the soil of Ayodhya, just after the puja, we smeared it in our forehead. That's a very sacred experience. I welcome everyone for this beautiful occasion to reminiscence the association of two great masters, two great organizations. And I personally thank Dattaji for giving his time to be with us. Hari Om.
Shri Swami Mitrananda ji, elders, the devotees of the Chinmaya Mission, and the social workers who are active in various socio-cultural fields, respected mothers, sisters and brothers. At the outset, I offer my most humble and respectful pranams at the holy feet of Pujya Gurudev ji. His Holiness has been inspiring and guiding countless individuals and innumerable activities engaged in social, spiritual, national and humanitarian missions. Swamiji told that I feel Chinmaya Mission is mine, or I belong to this mission. Being a worker of Rashtriya Swayam Seva sangh, we have been told and trained to recognize and respect all those activities, missions, efforts in our society who are working for the welfare of the people, welfare of the humanity, the progress and resurgence of this great and ancient nation. Every such effort that goes on in this country for the upliftment and glory of this great nation is not an outsider for us. The Rashtriya Swayam Seva sangh, about which a beautiful and very meaningful video presentation was there. I thank the people who have produced it. They have done it wonderfully. I don't know how our RSS people would have done it. So you have done it so nicely. Because it is done by Chinmaya Mission, it is their copyright. Because it is about RSS, it is our birthright. We are not two different organizations that way. We are two facets of the same mission. It is like two eyes having the same vision. Two ears hearing the same sound. Two lungs breathing for the same body. I don't find a difference except that Swamiji has put it, which Gurudev was used to say that white-clad men of RSS are sannyasis. That's what he said. It was his greatness that he recognized, and he showered his love and affection on the Swayam Sevaks. Wherever he has gone, in this country or outside, his benediction, his love, his affection were always available for the Swayam Sevaks in plenty. The Chinmaya Mission, as a spiritually oriented service mission, is involved in transformation of humanity for a better, evolved and higher and holistic level. Puja Gurudev has reawakened the Hindu souls, particularly of the elite of this society. The most prominent of his contributions is the wonderful idea of Gita Jnana Yajna. Swamiji, as he told, he asked me to speak on the occasion of the Ashtottara Shata Janmotsava of Puja Gurudev, 108th birth anniversary. Of course, I readily accepted, but I was not feeling confident. I accepted because the order is from Chinmaya Mission, and Swami Mitranandaji is asking, I can't say no. But I was not very confident because I will be speaking to most of the devotees of Chinmaya Mission, and the two from Tamil Nadu and Chennai. So I thought, what should I speak? Then Swamiji gave me the idea also, which I am trying to share with you here through my words. Whether I have come up to the mark or not, it is left to Swamiji to assess me and evaluate me later. Swamiji mentioned about the relation or the association between the RSS and the Chinmaya Mission. It is very difficult to explain. Sri Guruji Golwalkar, who was the second Pujanya Sarasanga Chalak of the Rashtriya Swayam Seva Sangh, and Puja Gurudev were almost like sannyasi brothers Most of you must be knowing that Guruji Golwalkar was initiated, he was given Diksha by Swami Akhandanandaji of the Ramakrishna order at Saragachi Ashram. And before he reached the ashram, and he was there for some time before he was given Diksha, Guruji Golwalkar had come into contact with the RSS during his days in the Banaras Hindu University in Varanasi as a lecturer. Although he was from Nagpur, he had no association with the RSS in Nagpur. Destiny ordained that he should come into contact with the RSS in the Banaras Hindu University. And later on he went to Saragachi. I don't want to explain the entire story of it because that will consume my time here. And on the Sankranti day, Makara Sankranti day, in 1935 or 36, he was given the Diksha by Swami Akhandanandaji, and Akhandanandaji himself asked him to work for the sangh. And Sri Guruji and Gurudev, they came into contact, they knew each other later on throughout life. And Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji, he used to refer to an incident which repeatedly happened, of course, but he had been witness to that. So he used to explain to us in the Sangha meetings when Swami Dayananda ji had come. He said, I was to Swamiji, so whenever Guruji Golwalkar came, Swamiji stood up and he wanted to touch his feet. And Guruji Golwalkar, when he is seeing Swamiji himself, he used to bow and he wanted to touch the feet of Gurudev. So both were in competition to touch the feet of the others. And ultimately both used to embrace each other. So Swami Dayananda told once, I asked, Golwalkar ji is not in saffron clothes. He is not a sannyasi, though he was having beard and all. So he knew, but Dayananda, out of curiosity, asked, but you show him so much of respect. Dayananda's words which we have heard, Gurudev told him he is not less sannyasi, he is a sannyasi and senior to me. And he is doing the same work which we are also doing. So this is how the incident was explained to us by Swami Dayananda. As far as the association of Swamiji with the Sangh is concerned, I would like to take you back to 1953 or 54, in those early days, when Swamiji had started his Gita Jnani Yajna in Chennai and Kerala and other places. Early days. In 1953, Swamiji came in contact with the RSS in Kozhikode and other places in Kerala. T. Parameswaran ji, who became the president of Vivekananda Kendra later on and who founded Bharati Vichar Kendram in Trivandrum, one of the towering intellectual of that Kerala has produced, who has been an author, who has been a poet, who was a lifelong pracharak of Rashtriya Swayam Seva Sangh, was a young pracharak in Kozhikode. And Rangahariji, who is now in his late 90s in Ernakulam, he is also another lifelong pracharak of the sangh. He was in Palghat and Thrissur as Jilla Pracharaks in those districts. At that time, 1953, Swamiji came to Kozhikode and he wanted to start the Gita Jnana Yajna, and then he collected some people. He met the RSS people also, these young Pracharaks and other Karyakartas of the RSS. They formed, and it is Gurudev who told him to form a committee, an organizing committee for the Gita Jnana Yajna. And it was Swamiji's special insistence that people who are retired bureaucrats, officials, retired judges, who are elite of the class, elite of the society, and he studiously kept away the people from the political backgrounds and politicians. And those who understand English language, because Swamiji used to speak in English, as we all know. His English was, I should not say anything about it, so stylish, so flowery, so fluent. And Gita Jnana Yajna was organized, and in those days, the days of the Gita Jnana Yajna it depended upon the length of the chapter. If it is 20 slokas, so many days. If it is 40 slokas, more days. Later on, Swamiji condensed it to 10 days, as we all know. So in different towns, the Gita Jnana Yajna was organized, and people used to come in big number with Bhagavad Gita in their hands. They were sitting and doing it, and many a time, in some places, the translation of the English speech of Gurudev into Malayalam was done by P. Parameshwaranji, Rangahariji and Madhavanji and such people who were Sangha Pracharaks. So because of this, these people also had to study Gita and understand the style, content, and all the stories, the examples that Gurudev explains in his own inimitable style. I have attended in Bangalore Gita Jnana Yajna and Upanishad classes in my college days, university days in Bangalore, National High School grounds. So these people used to translate, organize, and in those days Swamiji had asked that people should keep their footwear outside and then come inside. Later on in big etc., that was slowly it went. That practice was not insisted, I think. But in those days, this arranging the footwear outside the pandal, outside the hall, taking care of them, giving the slip to the owner of the footwear, and then organizing, all these things were being done by the Sangha Swayam Sevaks. So Sangha Swayam Sevaks were taking care of footwear outside, and Sangha Swayam Sevaks, Pracharaks, were also making translations from the dais. So this is the association in the early days of Gita Jnana Yajna in Kerala. And then Avabhruta Sthana used to be there on the last day of the Gita Jnana Yajna. And in Avabhruta Sthana, all the people who attended all the classes, they were asked to go to the nearby river, and all the people should go in 2 rows, line up and go walk for 2-3 kilometers and go to temple tank, have a snan, then do bhajan and return. And all the elite, retired judges, bureaucrats, they also participated in the Avabhruta Snana. And Swamiji was very particular about it. And he used to say to our Sangha Karyakartas, see, if you can make people wear shorts, khaki shorts, and they can come and play for 1 hour in the open ground in the morning, why can't they take a holy dip in the temple tank? Let them come. They should walk. This is how we will save dharma and nation. These are the words that inspired our Sangh Swayam Sevaks also. So, in one way, Swamiji, by such deed, he made the society also to participate in a disciplined way and follow these things, and also inspired the Sangh Swayam Sevaks that what we are doing is also quite good thing. So here is a person who is supporting us, defending us, encouraging us. So these were the things. There was one incident. Guruji Golwalkar and Gurudev, the relation association. I thought twice whether I should share that incident here or not, but I decided I should. Without hurting anybody. Some people in one town of Kerala, belonging to Brahmin community, they came to Guruji Golwalkar of the RSS when he was on tour. And they approached Guruji Golwalkar where he was staying in a house, somebody's house. They said, we have one question. What's it? Is it correct for a Shudra, a non-Brahmin, to explain Bhagavad Gita? Whether Shastras accept it? Even you become a sannyasi, people are not ready to give up the feeling of the caste. It is so deep, etched into our minds, has become the part and parcel of our thinking. Guruji Golwalkar understood where the arrow is shot. Even these people are raising this question. They did not mention, but they raised this question. Guruji Golwalkar said, yes, I also can't say anything to you. How can I answer this question? But I am thinking that Krishna, who belonged to the Yadava community, preached Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, who was a Kshatriya. He heard. And this was written by Vyasa, who belonged to the fisherman community. With their, whether Shastras accept this or not, I am also in doubt. So that's why I cannot convince you on the basis of Shastras. The people who came, they understood. So they quietly left the place. Swamiji, this is the way Guruji cleared the unnecessary questions that arise in the minds of some people in the society. And that was the way Gurudev encouraged the Rashtriya Swayam Seva Sangh people that what you do is the right thing. Dear sisters and brothers, this has been the association of Chinmaya Mission and the RSS. Now, how these things are connected with the nation, just now Swamiji and also the devotee who introduced mentioned one thing. Desha Bhakti is the Mahamarga for the Deva Bhakti. The entire history of freedom struggle of this great nation, innumerable people who sacrificed at the altar of the motherland. They were inspired because of their unquestionable commitment to the motherland. but they exhibited that great nationalist fervor because they understood that this is the way of the Adhyatma. This is the way to worship the Almighty. This is the way to submit before the great Creator. For all those people who participated in the revolutionary activities of this country for the emancipation of Bharat Mata, they always felt that this land is a holy land. It is a Punya Bhumi. This land is a land of Almighty. It is a Deva Bhumi. And in Kankar, Kankar mein Shankar hai. In every particle of the land of this soil, Shankara is living there. This was the feeling of every revolutionary in this country. That's why many of them, when they were sent to gallows, while on the way to gallows, they were holding the copy of the Bhagavad Gita. When Madan Lal Dhingra was hanged, not in this country, but away in England, there is a smile on his face. Young man, fashionable youth, studied in the Imperial College of London. He had not gone there to fight for the nation. He had gone there for his higher studies, but he came in contact with Swatantra Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, and he became a revolutionary. And then he was hanged because of his revolutionary act. And he was smiling. And the jailer asked, Baba, you are going to be hanged. What is your feeling? He said, give me a comb and a mirror. Just let me set my hair. I said, what are you saying? Yes, I am going to meet my mother. I should not go in shabby way. And I am sure the mother will send me again back to my Janmabhumi to work for her. Who said this is my last life? I will come again, I will work. Is this not spirituality? What else is? So this patriotic fervor, the nationalist feeling, and the spirituality, they are not two different things, they are intertwined. One supports the other. And this is how this nation has seen the people who have worked in various walks of life, whether it is teachers, the masters, the artists, the singers, the dancers, the sculptors, the writers, the authors, the poets, the sages, the saints, the kisans, the merchants and traders, the kings, all have shared this great nationalist feeling, and they saw that we have taken birth in this land to serve the motherland. History is full of such great inspiring stories, but unfortunately, in the last 100 years, particularly in 70, 75 years after independence, that history has not been told to our generations in the schools and colleges, in the precincts of the universities. Now the things are changing. Bharat is taking a turn. Bharat is rising. And here comes the nation first. Why it is? The Rashtriya Swayam Seva, about which you have just now watched that video, has been founded to strengthen the nation. Every person in any country is expected to be a patriot. And in many countries, in almost all the countries, the law of the land mandates a person to be patriot. If he is having a loyalty to another country, it is a sin, it is an offense, which can be, a person can be punished for that. But patriotism itself is not nationalism in totality. Nationalism, of course, in Europe, it's a bad word. It's a stigma. Because of Hitler and Mussolini, the word nationalism has become a bad word, a parochial narrow-mindedness, hatred towards others. These things have been attached with the concept of nationalism, unfortunately, because of the experience in the European countries or in some other such countries. Nation here is Rashtra, if we want to have the translation, but it is not the correct translation. Because Rashtra has not the perfect equal term in another language, particularly in English. No. The root of nation as a term is different, it is native. Root of Rashtra in Sanskrit is different. It is Rajan plus Tra is Rashtra. They are having two different roots. There is a Rashtra is not the nation. And one more thing has happened in the modern times. The nation state is equated with the nation. A nation state is having a physical border. It is having a government established. It is having a constitutional sovereignty. They are having a currency. They raise an army. And the military protects the borders. And when these things are there, it is a nation state. A nation is not this. Nation is a cultural concept. What is culture? Culture is the expression of the soul of a nation. And insofar Bharat is concerned, what is the soul of Bharat? Bharat's soul is Adhyatma. Swami Vivekananda said, it may be trade or commerce, it may be law or something different for Europe, for England, for France, for America. But insofar as Bharat is concerned, the soul of Bharat is Dharma, the Adhyatma. Maharishi Aurobindo in his Uttarapada speech, he declared that Sanatana Dharma is the Rashtriyata, that is the nationality. In Tamil Nadu, Sanatana has become something different. People have not understood what it is. It is not ignorance, what is going on. It is a conspiracy. Let us not make a mistake. It is a conspiracy. It is a calculated agenda. I would not like to go into that because this is not the occasion to dwell upon that. So Sanatana Dharma is the nationalism of this country. Maharishi Aurobindo, he said in his Uttarapada speech. So that is why the patriotism itself is the nationalism. It is the Rashtra Dharma. It is beyond that Desha Bhakti. So that's why a nation is evolved over centuries. Nation is made out of three basic ingredients. One is a land, another is people who worship that land as mother or father, motherland or fatherland. who have a relation as the mother and children. And the third aspect is the cultural values that have evolved over centuries because of the various practices and experimentations and acceptances by the people for a better life. So these cultural values and the people and the land, they together make a nation. That is Rashtra. So that's why the nation is a people having common history and cultural heritage, a common understanding of values and morals, a common past and aspirations for the future. So when Rashtriya Swayam Seva Sangh was founded, this was the concept that Dr. Hedgewar had, that this Rashtra, with this, that has to be strengthened, galvanized to achieve the Parama Vaibhava, that is pinnacle of glory. That is why every day in the Prarthana of the Rashtriya Swayam Seva Sangh, which just now you have seen on the screen, the English word translation of the lines. So nation first entails us to be committed to all these. Nation first is a commitment to unity, to welfare of the people, protection and preservation of culture and history. Today I am here means I have a history of thousands of years. Otherwise, what is the connection with Rama and Krishna? So nationalism has a cultural foundation, and that culture is known as Hindu culture, Sanatana, Indic, Arya, Bharatiya. It can be referred as mentioned or recognized in different terms. Each one has its own connotation. But however, if the content is not of much difference, the form is acceptable. If somebody wants to call it Indic culture, not Hindu culture, no quarrel. As long as the content is same. I was telling about Rama and Krishna. This land is of Rama and this land is of Krishna, we say. Rama and Krishna are not two individuals. They represent the dharma, the sanskriti, the adhyatma, the values of life. The values of Rama have become the values of this land. You can't discard it. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. Rama is the embodiment of Dharma. That is how Rama is referred to. And this land has been worshipping Rama and Krishna not as individuals, but because they represent the great value system, the cultural heritage of this land. That is in every language, for last thousands of years, Rama and Krishna have appeared in all literature and in every community in this country, including Northeast. People have named their children after Rama and Krishna. That shows how this nation is one with the these value system, this cultural heritage, this greatness of dharma. Dr. Ramanohar Lohia, a socialist, he has penned a beautiful essay. It is available. It's in English also. Rama, Krishna and Shiva. Please remember, Dr. Ramanohar Lohia was not an RSS man or a follower of Chinmaya mission. He was a socialist. And Dr. Ramanohar Lohia used to organize Ramayana Mela in Chitrakoot, where Rama, Sita and Lakshman, they spent 11 years out of their 14 years of Vanvas. And in Chitrakoot, Ramanohar Lohia used to organize Ramayana Mela. And such Dr. Lohia wrote this essay, Rama, Krishna and Shiva. There he said, Ram has united Bharat from north to south, from the banks of Sarayu to Rameshwaram or beyond. And Krishna has united this Bharat from east to west, from Manipur to Dwarka. And Shankara, the Shiva, has united this great land because Shiva Shakti is everywhere. So Rama, Krishna and Shiva are the three principles that unite this land. This is how Dr. Lohia explained the concepts of Rama, Shiva and Krishna. So when we say that the nation, if we understand these cultural foundations of the nation, then why we have to preserve, protect and promote the nation in what aspects? One, all physical, mundane, material life of this country has to be a very prosperous, which will become, which gives happiness to everyone. People should live a happy life. So that's why we may require science, technology, education, health services, infrastructures. So nation first, whether it is only these mundane activities, no doubt they are essential. No doubt they are primary. But at what cost? Then comes another level, environmental protection, family values, the cultural repositories, and those things which represent our great values, culture and traditions like temples, our customs, our traditions, our festivals, our lifestyles, our village communities, our practices. All these things are undoubtedly the part and parcel of our great national ethos and national cultural heritage. So the mundane material things on one side and the cultural, traditional aspects on the other. So if the mundane things, the material achievement is only there, people will become self-centric, egoistic, Ravana had everything. He had knowledge. He had wealth. He had great technological powers. He had many things for his achievement. But because of the science values, because of the absence of values, he could not become the ideal of the humanity. Tyaga and Seva, the service and the renunciation are the twin goals of this land, as Swami Vivekananda beautifully put it. And Gurudeva, when he founded Chinmaya Mission, on one side, the Adhyatmika Marga, that was taken care of. But the worldly life on the other side, to provide better education, skill, health care, and so on and so forth. That is why the Rashtriya Swayam Seva, the Chinmaya Mission, and many other spiritually oriented service missions have been doing it. So the nation first demands us to take care of both the aspects of Abhyudaya and Nishreyas. Abhyudaya is physical world, the Nishreyas is of the spiritual. And for this, Swamiji, he wrote article in Tapovan Prasad in the late 50s or early 60s. He had toured many countries. He had seen the people, particularly of Bharat, the Hindus, and their conditions in those countries, and also within our country. Then he had written an article, and after his participation in the Vedanta Sammelan in Amritsar, Swamiji returned to Delhi, but unfortunately fell ill with fever, confined to bed for a week's time. During this time, he conceived the idea of World Hindu Council. He wrote an article in Tapovan Prasad in November 1963. And thereon he wrote another article where he said that the Ayodhya Rama temple should be liberated and a new Rama temple should be constructed. It was before the Vishwa Hindu Parishad was founded. And almost on those days, one pracharak of Rashtriya Swayam Seva Sangh, Dada Saheb Apte, Shiv Shankar Apte is his name. He is known as Dada Saheb Apte. He was a journalist. He was a pracharak of the Rashtriya Swayam Seva Sangh. Can I take another 5-10 minutes? Because I am seeing the work there. And he had written series of articles in Kesari, Marathi weekly, founded by Lokmanya Tilak. And Dada Saheb Apte had written those articles on the basis of his visits in different parts of the world, in various countries. He had suggested that there should be somebody to take care of the Hindus outside Bharat also. And he had sent those articles to Guruji Golwalkar. Being a pracharak, naturally he shared his ideas with Guruji Golwalkar. Guruji Golwalkar, after reading the article in Tapovan Prasad by Gurudev, he called Dada Saheb Apte and he said, now the time has come. In between, another incident had taken place. That is, one Dr. Kapil Dev, a member of the parliament from Trinidad and Tobago, he visited Bharat. He came to Delhi, the capital, and he tried to approach some people in the government. He said the situation in his country, that is Trinidad, he was a Hindu. His forefathers had migrated from here. So he said, we have to protect the interest of Hindus there. We don't have people, pujaris in temples. there are no people who can perform marriages or after death ceremonies, etc. So we don't have any people, but we are Hindus. So please arrange something. He came, Kapil Dev, from all the way from Trinidad to Delhi. And in government, being a secular government, they would not do anything of this kind. So then somebody in the government suggested that he should meet Guruji Golwalkar. Then he tried to see in 1950s and early 60s, only trunk calls were there and postcards were there. So Kapil Dev tried to meet Guruji Golwalkar and he met him in Belgaum in Karnataka because Guruji was on tour there. And he said, this is, Guruji heard and he said, we will try. After some time, we went back. We will try. So Kapil Dev's visit, Gurudev's article in Tapan Prasad, Dada Saheb Apte's series of articles. Then Guruji Golwalkar said, this is now the time has come. So go and meet Swami Chinmayananda ji. Try to arrange a meeting. And Swamiji also wanted somebody because he had already written about World Hindu Council. So when the Pracharak was sent from Guruji Golwalkar, Swamiji said, we shall arrange a meeting in Powai Sandipani Ashram itself. Then a meeting took place in 1964 on 29th and 30th August in the Powai Sandipani Sadhanalaya. And later on meeting took place in December 1964. Then in Prayagraj Kumbha 1966, a great Hindu conference was held in which so many people, K.M. Munshi, Mysore Maharaja Jaichamaraj Vadeyar, Acharya Tulsi, Master Tara Singh, many people came and they all agreed to found an organization. And Guruji Golwalkar and Gurudev, they were the driving force. Jaichamaraj Vadeyar accepted to become the first president of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad. And the first working president was Pujani Gurudev ji. And Dada Saheb Apte became the first general secretary. And the next year, in the Krishna Janmashtami day, in Sandipani Ashram of Powai, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad was founded. Now after this, the Ramajanmabhoomi thing was the secular ideas of the government were not taking care of the nation. They wanted to take care of the only governance. That is why I tried to explain what the nation is. Unless and until you take care of the cultural values of a country, the nation is not taken care of. Under the guise of secularism and socialism, these things were not only ignored, but they were ridiculed. And Gurudev raised his voice. And Gurudev raised his voice and he demanded for Hindu vote bank. Gurudev is a sannyasi, but he is speaking the political language. But it is not politics. What Lokmanya Tilak did was not politics. What Savarkar did was not politics. What Mahatma Gandhi did was not politics. In order to protect, promote and preserve the national values and culture, time and again the people who are charged with the spirituality in this country have raised their voice. If you say that Hindu vote bank is a political demand, people are making mistake. They don't understand the history and heritage of our land. Then you can say that Bhagavan Krishna was also doing politics. For the establishment of dharma, for the dharma sthapana, people will have to speak, raise their voice and make a people's movement. Pujya Swami Chinmayananda ji, he became the guiding force for the Rama Janmabhoomi movement within this country and elsewhere in the world. He became the strong votary. He became the defender. He became the spokesperson. He became the leader of this great movement. In 1992, when the Babri structure was demolished, in January 1993, Sangh's Pracharak Ram Madhav ji, he interviewed Gurudev. Interview is a long one, but just I will quote one or two sentences from the village. So, Swamiji said, we have waited for long, now it is time to go for a temple, irrespective of the government, we should do it. Then Ram Madhav, as a journalist, he asked, must there be a temple built there, Swamiji? Swamiji, angrily, are you a Hindu or Muslim that I am talking with? And as a Hindu, you are asking me whether Ram temple must be built. Opinion on Ram temple? It is like asking whether I should reject my wife or not. Is it an opinion? My job is to look after my wife. That question, if you are asking, you are insulting me. I am having the entire text of the interview. Then Ram Madhav asked, so much blood, Swamiji? Swamiji retorted, when is it that blood was not there? When you were delivered, when you were a baby, was it not in blood? A nation is built in blood. A nation imbues in blood, and a nation disappears in blood. Nation is built not like buildings with brick and mortar. Nation is built because of the feelings, because of the emotions, because of the sentiments. A nation flourishes because of the culture. A nation gets regenerated because of the sacrifices of the succeeding generations. Gurudev and Guruji Golwalkar, they wanted to create such band of people and workers who will work for the nation, its prosperity, and if time comes, to sacrifice for the nation. They chose two fields, but they are one and the same. Guruji Golwalkar said that nationalism with spirituality as the base, he worked in one field. Gurudev, spirituality that strengthens the nationalism, he worked in that field. Both were the ardent worshippers of Mother Bharat, and for them, nation first is a spiritual, cultural, and dharmic duty. And being the followers trying to go in their footsteps, it is expected from us that we dedicate ourselves towards this great nationalist duty. Namaste to all.